Bop, 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 bop. Pin this now. All right, make sure everything flowing. Make sure everything is flowing. What's good? What's good? What's going on, bro? Can you hear me? Am I good? I want to make sure I'm good before continuing with everything. You guys can hear me? I'm good. Let's see. All right, perfect. What's going on, man? What's going on, guys? This is the last Tuesday of this quarter. It's crazy, right? The second quarter getting ready to start already. Literally on Friday. Friday is going to be the start of quarter two. I got a lot of things written down. Actually, I got my notebook this time. No more notepad. So even with that, right, this is going to be the start of the second quarter. It's going to be amazing, but that's what I was going to say on top of that as well. Start of the second quarter. So if you have not been killing this first quarter, it's okay. We still got the second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter left, right? So it's okay. Like, the game's not over. Right? Think about, like, basketball. Like, you could be losing the first quarter. By the end of the game, you still win. And that's what matters most, right? At the end of the year, are you winning? But look at this light, though, guys. Yeah, I'm out here. I'm not in the office right now. Shaw's on the call. But, man, this light is, whoo. I need a haircut. But yeah, going back into it, though, I do have a lot of things I do want to talk about. But first thing, I do want to start off with that. Like, this is the end of the first quarter, as I just said, right? But again, like, you don't have, well, you obviously want to win every quarter, but I'm saying this because I'm going to actually share on my personal things as well. But a lot of things comes on. A lot of things just happens. Like, even myself, this first quarter for me, it was a crazy roller coaster ride. I've had some terrible family news that pretty much threw me out of my headspace and out the game for like 2 months. So the quarter alone is less than that. So you already can see, like, majority of the quarter I was pretty much not in the right headspace. But even that as well, like, I was able to, like, get myself back on track and then, just take a step back and see, analyze what's going on, what got to be adjusted, what can be fixed, and so forth. And then, as I said, I didn't technically win the first quarter because of the fact that I wasn't working for the majority of the time. And literally, I was like, I have a Discord group and everything, and I'm watching them kill, and I love it. I love teaching them everything. And it is, for me, just like, I'm not trading right now. Like, and the thing about it is that, like, it's a gift and a curse, right? It's a gift because I have the ability to do that, but it's a curse because I have the ability to do that, right? So it's like, you don't really want to leave your job for a very long time. And I know for some reason, that's the thing. Like, people make it seem as if, like, working on vacation and all that stuff. And it's not realistic. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, I was in Aruba for 30 days. And even on that, like, for starters, you don't want to work. Right? And then secondly, Wi-Fi on the beach is terrible. It doesn't matter if you're at a resort or it's just terrible, but it just sounds cool. It sounds cool to say that. But yeah, just closing this thought before you move forward. If you have not won the first quarter, it is okay. You still have the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter, so still get yourself going and move forward. Right? And then I'm not sure if you guys checked out my reel, but my last reel that I put out, pretty much saying the same exact thing, right? Like, it's, when it boils down to it, you do want to think about, like, what went wrong, right? You want to think about, like, what did I do or not do my last 60 to 90 days, right? You take a step back, analyze that right there, and once you have an idea of that, now you can move forward. So you can clearly see, okay, like, this didn't work or this worked, and I can improve on this. I can stop doing these things. I can start doing more of these things and so forth. And that's beneficial. And then added to that as well, my fiance, she does have her own quarterly planner, which is very beneficial. It also got me, in my game as well. So should have pinned that. But if you are on YouTube, you can check that out. Speaking of YouTube, I do have to give a disclaimer because, again, this is going to be on YouTube. So for those who are watching and checking this out, disclaimer, this is not financial education nor advice. Do your own due diligence and your own research before acting on these things, as well as speak to your financial advisor or the person who you speak to regarding your finances before making decisions. Everything that I said today is meant for entertainment purposes only. So, yes, now that that's out the way, got to make sure you guys aren't trying to sue me. I got enough things to deal with. But, yeah, as I said, so I got a lot of things written down. Definitely going to speak about the elephant in the room, which is this recession that we've been speaking about that's starting to become more public. Another thing on top of that, I want to speak on saving. So Actually, before I even talk about that, join my Discord. It's pinned right there. Join my Discord. Market breakdowns every single day. We have a weekly group calls. That's every Sunday and every Wednesday. On Sundays, we have a week ahead group call in which we go over the markets for the current week. Wednesdays, we have a wealth. Oh my gosh, I'm so out of it. Wednesdays, we have a wealth group call, which is, again, it's meant for like what went down so far throughout the week, as well as the economy and so forth. Hold up. Someone just said, just passed my funding challenge phase 1. Can't wait to beat me. Woo! Congrats. Let's go, man. Congrats. Someone just left a comment that they just passed the 10% funding challenge. That's amazing, man. You're a step closer to be a full-time trader. It's great. It's definitely great. So congratulations on that, man. I love it, man. And that's the beauty of it. Like, you guys have the ability to pass these challenges and become a funded trader that way. Like, you don't have to worry about using your own capital to do so. And the reason why I love that, because again, like, the main reason why a lot of traders aren't profitable full-time or becoming full-time traders is because of the fact that they have lack of funding, right? So these funding challenges, they allow you to play a small capital, right? You pass a few challenges that they have set for you. Once you pass that and you actually become, and you have access to their capital, now you're good to go. So it's very beneficial. On top of that, I do want to say, be wary of a lot of these challenges that are out here. At the end of the day, over 90% of traders are not passing these challenges. So, it is becoming like a new thing as well, right? So if I know for a fact 90% of traders are not passing, I can definitely say to myself, like, hey, if 90% aren't passing, I can make my own, right? Because I know people are going to keep spending money, and so forth. And then from there, no one's going to get paid, right? So perfect example is Forex Tips. It was first a guy who channeled, and became a girl, but I'm definitely going to throw y'all out there because y'all stole so many traders' money. It's ridiculous. And I think they're still running too. So if you guys Forex Trading 101, Forex Trading Tips. I forgot the exact name of the page, but yeah, you guys are crazy scamming traders out there, not giving them bread. That's just not cool. Not cool at all. Can you honestly make a living off of trading? And when I say make a living, I mean it has to make sense. Like, I'm a full-time trader, so I'm definitely living proof. Great content, bro. Appreciate that. But yeah, I'll dissect that before I continue my notes. Yeah, like you could definitely make a living doing this 100%. Like, without a doubt, you could definitely make a living. Again, it does take consistency and time. I feel like social media make it seem as if it's easier than what it truly is, and that's not true, right? So it's like you're not going to start trading today and then next week you're making all this bread. And it does, it hurts the fact that like a lot of MLM companies, they have made it seem as if that's the case, right? So again, I'm not an MLM myself, but the thing about it is that like there are some traders who don't know what they're talking about, right? And what they'll do is let the blind lead the blind, right? So they'll come out and make it seem as if trading is this easy thing. You just like join and you're making all this money, make all this residual and so forth. And that's not true. That's extremely far from the truth. It's way more difficult than that. Trading is by far one of the most difficult things I have ever done in my life mentally, if not the most difficult thing. But yeah, you definitely have the ability. Ty, what's up, man? You definitely have the ability to become a full-time trader. Again, it's gonna take time, man. I have I don't even know how many students I have who are full-time now. I got a lot. But even on what I was saying on that too, like the great thing about it is that I'm obviously gonna big myself up. So man, how many students do I have right now? Man, I wish I didn't know the number on top of my head. But besides that, though, you do have the ability to become full-time. That's not difficult. It's more of a strategic plan, right? So anything when it boils down to it, if you have a job and you're trying to, reach different positions or higher positions in your job, you got to do certain things. That's a plan, right? You have to plan for it, follow your plan, and so forth. Same thing with becoming a full-time trader. You got to have a plan, utilize that plan, and then you can grow that plan and so forth. So it's really much no difference of that, and that's a nice correlation because majority of people, they are working a 9 to 5, which is understandable. I'm not against a 9 to 5. I'm not going to make it seem as if that's the case. I obviously just don't work a 9 to 5. But even so, speaking of 9 to 5, well, let me stop going around my thoughts, right? So back to what I was saying with it. So you do have the ability to go about doing it. It's not difficult. It is just going to take time. I have students my quickest student who became full-time, he did it in 3 months. And that's just my quickest student who has done that. That's not on average. That's not saying that, it's going to be that easy. Anybody can do it. No, like that dude's just a beast. on average, though, the ones who I saw became full time. I mean, they've done it in like 5. No, not 5. That person was 5. On average, I want to say let's say 6 months to a year. I'm not even gonna say a few weeks, 6 months to a year. But again, it boils down to you as an individual, how much work you're putting into it, how you comprehend the education as well as how you apply it, right? And again, as I said, that boils down to any job. If you're not going to just rise up in your company just because you just show up to work, right? It's more things to it, right? It's your work ethic. It's how much how knowledgeable you are on your job, how you apply it, your skill set with that, and so forth. But actually, I didn't want to speak on this, but I can touch on this as well. Skill set, right? So, you know what? Let's go straight into it. I'm over here going around all places and everything. But for starters, right? So the first thing I have written down is why saving your money is outdated. Now, I wrote this down first because even this whole weekend, and man, I just keep seeing people keep talking about save money, save money, save money. You got a recession, save money, save money, save money. And no, it's so outdated, right? For starters, right, let me actually go to it. So the annual pay rise, which is how much annual pay you'll get at your job, is 3.4%. That is the annual pay increase at your job, 3.4%. Now, average inflation, and this is not even the definite number, the accurate number. This is what we're being told. It's at least double this. But as of right now, inflation is at least 7%. And as I said, it is 100% double it. But how they calculate it, I'm going to go off their calculations, is 7%, right? So inflation's at 7%. Your annual pay increase is 3.4%. So off rip, even if you get a pay increase at your job, you're still behind. Inflation is still going to eat your money. So that's a huge reason why you do want to continue to invest, right? You also have to make the right investments. I'll get to that in a second when I speak about cryptos and so forth, and also commodities as well. But besides that, though, it's you got to have a skill set. Having a skill set is beneficial. And again, with the skill set, it does not mean you have to quit your job, right? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying that the way the world is moving forward, right, jobs are starting to become outdated as well, right? As you can see, technology is picking up. We are literally living in the times in which these things are becoming more of a mainstream thing, right? Whoever thought 2 years ago, 2022, yeah, well, let's say 3 years ago, because that was 2020. Well, yeah, around this time, whoever thought 3 years ago, people would start working from home, right? That wasn't the thing, right? But now, people, well, they're starting to go back to in the office, but still, people working from home now. These things are becoming more of a thing moving forward. And then on top of that, just think about that. If we're being told that you have to go back into the office, but a lot of people aren't. And the main reason why is because for starters, the freedom, right? So if I'm working from home, I don't have to worry about traveling to my job. I don't have to worry about traffic. A lot of things I don't have to worry about. Right, there are some jobs in which it does require you to go back into the office. Airport, TSA, right? I'm traveling soon, so it just came to my mind. But TSA, right? You can't do that from home. Imagine that though. Imagine you're doing TSA pre-check, or you're doing your TSA job from on your computer. You're on Zoom. So yeah, go ahead. That'd be funny. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens with it, to be honest with you. The way technology is working, we might probably have a robot replace individuals. I can see that happening. I definitely do see automation becoming more of a thing when it comes to jobs, right? Because at the end of the day, if I can pay this robot $50, if I can pay $100 a year for a robot, or I pay you, $15 an hour, I'm going to pay the robot 100%, right? So it's just a whole business thing. But yeah, so another reason why I'm saying it's outdated besides inflation, right? You also have the fact that APY, the average APY at a bank is giving you less than 1%. It's giving you less than 0.1%. Think about that. I'm going to go even lower because the average APY at a bank is 0.03%. So just think about that. The average APY at a bank is so trash. But people are still thinking that you gotta, keep your money in the bank, and it's just, again, it's outdated, right? So especially with crypto, you have a lot of crypto stable coins. Stable coins are coins that mimic the dollar bill. So you have a lot of these stable coins whose APY is ranging about you could do 6%, right? It's even DAI is one I love and use. That's 6% APY. So you have 6% APY, and it mimics the dollar, right? Which means that the price of the coin is going to stay at $1 or at low as 98 cents or as high as $1.02, right? It's going to stay in that range, 6% APY, or I can keep my money in the bank, right? Lose it off of inflation, and I can get 0.01% or 0.03% from a bank. Like, it just makes sense that, when I'm boiled down to it, what I need to do is put my money, outside of the bank, right? And that's why you do want to put it into the financial markets, because at the end of the day, that is where wealth is created. Wealth is not created in a bank, right? Banks actually utilize your dollars, and what they do is you put your money in the bank, they'll take your money and they'll go invest it with someone else or something else, right? So a lot of times, depending on what the bank is, they may invest into like different corporations, they may invest in different businesses, different prisons, and so forth. At the end of the day, it's a bank, so they're going to do what's best beneficial, for their pockets. Again, another thing I have written down is unemployment. So last week, unemployment numbers that ended on March 19th. So how it works like this: every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we get unemployment claims, right? So what it is it shows us unemployment claims from the previous week. So it normally ends around that Saturday. So this one we got the ending of 3/19. And this one showed that 187,000 Americans filed for unemployment, which gave us a 50-year low of unemployment claims. So I'm not buying it. I'm just not. That's the data. We are saying that, we do have a strong labor market. They're saying it's stronger than ever before, but I just don't think that's the truth, right? It's in my opinion, again, this is my opinion. I think there's so much data that's being shown that that's not the truth. We're also being told that, again, on top of being the strongest, we're being told that, that's the same thing. We're being told it's the strongest, and it just doesn't make sense to me, right? So it's like, how can we have the strongest labor market? However, the way they're calculating, even with jobs, right? You have in which people are having like 3 or 4 jobs, and that counts as 3 or 4 different jobs, but one individual, right? So like, if I'm one person and I'm working 3 or 4 jobs, that's not a good thing. That literally means that, for starters, my time management is terrible because I have 3 or 4 jobs, right? Secondly, that means that my current employment, it can't satisfy my needs, my daily needs. So if that's the case, if it doesn't satisfy my needs, oh, damn it. Hold on, let me pin this again. Man, whoa. Oh, man, that's crazy. I actually deleted the pinned comment. I think I deleted it. I did delete it. I definitely did delete it. Definitely did. But I had to put it back. Sorry about that. But yeah, as I was saying, so I was like, I'm just not buying it. I don't think that the numbers are accurate. And the way they calculated things, it just doesn't make any sense. So that also adds to what I'm getting ready to talk about. I'll talk about the recession later on. But that's another thing, too, is like, we are definitely in a recession, right? Well, not by definition. By definition, we do need 2 consecutive quarters of back-to-back decline. And ironically, the market is trying to go back into some positive territory. But I mean, we have one more day, so we'll see how that plays out. Actually, 2 more days, because Friday is April 1st, which is also NFP. So you traders out there, pay attention to that. We have ADP tomorrow as well. Oh man, so much stuff. If you need a breakdown, click the link in the description below, or join my Discord, which is the same exact thing. The link below. Definitely going over the market, showing you guys how you guys can profitably trade it. It's gonna be dope. So for everyone in the Discord who's listening, I want to say, like, after this is over, probably like the next hour, or let's do 8:30. I'll definitely do a market breakdown showing you guys what I'm looking at, and you guys already know. You know how we get down. All right. So another thing that I have as well. Let's talk about oil, right? So we have the average price of gas nationwide is $4.24, right? Which is 48% higher than last year. Added to that, we do see that a huge percentage of that comes from the state as well as the federal tax, which is the gas tax, right? So, and the gas tax is meant to go towards like infrastructure as well as highway repair. And again, it's meant because a lot, at the end of the day, when it boils down to taxes, people pocket it, right? So it sucks, but that's just, the world we live in. That is not because of capitalism. So a lot of people, they say that capitalism, I can't believe that that's actually a thing, that, people make it seem as if like capitalism is the problem, people are greedy and so forth. It's like, that's not the problem. It's not capitalism. It's an individual's greed, and that's not capitalism, but it's individual's greed. But on top of an individual's greed is more on ignorance, as well as like how they go about doing things. right? And then added to that, I mean, I wasn't going to speak about Biden's bill in reference to now he's funding the police, and I mean, well, I'm not going to speak too highly on this because I really don't want to go in depth with this tax that he's doing with taxing billionaires. But well, I'll say this part. It's very funny how politicians, they do this all the time, and every single time they do this, people still get shocked. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he or she would do this. Like, when they're running, they say one thing, they get in office, and then, right, so I'm in office, I'm set, right? But or unless I get impeached, which, that barely happens, but now I'm in office, I'm set. I'm going to go against everything I was just preaching, right? So that's just what it is. And people still get shocked, right? So even, Biden coming up saying, defund the police, Black Lives Matter, this is a big thing, right? He getting in office, State of the Union. It's not about defunding the police, it's about funding the police. So it's like little stuff like that. It's just very interesting how that was a crazy switch up. Like, that was a crazy switch up. For him to say just like that, I was actually a little shocked about that. Not shocked. I was a little shocked. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I really was. Very interesting though, but not surprised, shocked, but not surprised. Again, that's just that's what they do. That's what politicians do. They do it all the time. So tell Shade to turn the volume down. Nah, she's actually on the call, and actually, Shade, can you quiet down a little bit in there? All right. But yeah, it's very funny how, I mean, that's just a politician thing. So, and it's so funny that what we do is, we continuously believe a politician. And it's like, at the end of the day, like, y'all gotta stop believing what they're saying. Like, even myself, I don't give a damn who's in office, right? I really don't. I mean, I don't like Biden. I think he's a terrible president, especially not just I think he's a terrible president for the black community, but that's a whole other conversation I'm not getting into right now. But besides that, though, his policies is just ridiculous. But I don't like him as a president, but in reality, I don't give a damn if he's president or not, right? Because at the end of the day, I need to know the laws. I need to know the rules and regulations. I need to know, okay, how can I wiggle my way around this, right? Do what the rich do. That's what you have to do. You have to utilize the tax code, utilize the laws in your favor. And it's not to get away with stuff, right? Because at the end of the day, it's set here for us, right? So, people even say that as well. They're like, oh, rich people don't pay taxes, and that's not what it is. It's more about these tax codes are meant for the rich and wealthy. They're meant for entrepreneurs. They are not meant for workers, right? Because at the end of the day, entrepreneurs are the ones who take up the actual risk. It's not the employee, right? So that's the reason why a lot of these codes are set into play. So, and I say all the time, instead of being upset about that, learn the tax codes, learn the laws, and figure out how to use it in your favor. And that's what I'm going to say on that aspect of it. But yeah, as I was saying, when it comes to gas, back to the gas tax. This is the whole point I was making on that. So the great thing about it is that we do have, some states are initially a suspension on their first time. Hold up, first time I see you go live. Words of wisdom from this boss right here. Appreciate that, E. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. Thanks for tuning in. But back to what I was saying in reference to the gas tax, which I was saying. So if you guys who are just now tuning in. We do have, on average, the price of gas nationwide is $4.24 per gallon, right? But then added to that, we do have a huge percentage of that. I don't have the exact percentage, so I'm not going to say like the number off the top of my head because I don't know the number exact. I just know it's a huge percentage. It's more than 25%, right? So that goes towards the state as well as the federal tax. And even on that as well, fam, what's up? And even on that as well. So that right there alone, it's meant for infrastructure and highway, but that's not what they do. A lot of taxes that comes from the gas tax, it gets pocketed. Because at the end of the day, America does that, right? We pocket things, and that's just what it boils down to. And we tell the public we're not doing this, we're doing that, and so forth. Just what it is. But yeah, added to this state tax, added to the gas tax I was just mentioning, we do have Georgia, right? So a few states, they actually came out and said they're going to suspend their gas tax. So a few states that did that so far, Georgia, which is a great state. I'm here now. Georgia, they're going to suspend their gas tax of 29 cents per gallon, right? And that's going to be until the end of May. We do have Maryland. They came out and they're going to suspend their 36 cents per gallon. They're going to suspend that until mid-April. Sorry about that. Connecticut is going to suspend their 25 cents per gallon gas tax until June. And then you also have Florida. They're going to suspend their 25 cents tax 25 cents per gallon tax. But that's not going to happen until August. Until October. And the reason why October is because that's during their tourist season when it ends, which makes sense. I mean, if I'm Florida, I get it, right? Because it's like, we got a lot of tourists coming in. We do want to have that extra money. It's more tourists. So I do understand why they are doing that. I'm not going to say I agree or disagree. I just understand it. But back into it. So this does seem like a great idea, suspending sales tax. Pretty much average 30 cents, right, per gallon. But at the end of the day, the thing about it is that when the suspension is lifted, you're going to see a crazy spike in gas. So think about it this way, like, now let's say, on average it's $4.24. We go down 30 cents. We're looking at what, $3.90 per gallon. That's great and everything, but once the sales tax is lifted, you're back up to $4.24 per gallon. So that right there is going to be a huge shock to a lot of consumers, especially who utilize gas. So I don't think it's a great idea. I do see the benefit of it, but again, like I do see how this can be like a huge play that's not beneficial for the average American. What else am I looking at as well? Oh yeah, another thing added to that as well. So we do have the fact that California, Governor Newsom he's ridiculous. And this is again my own personal thoughts. He probably is one of the worst governors in the nation. Seriously, there's laws and stuff, and this is the main reason why people are leaving California. This guy's ridiculous. But besides that, though, Governor Newsom, what did he do? All right, he's sending $400 worth of debit cards. That's going to be used for gas. He's sending that to people who own at least per household. So if you have one vehicle per household, you're going to get $400, and that's going to go towards gas. And a lot of people think it's a great idea, but I mean, me who's paying attention, it's not. It's really not a good idea. So if you think about it, where are we getting this money from? Well, not we, California. Where are they getting the money from? You think they have money? No. Like, they don't have bread. So it's like, you guys are going in, y'all giving out all this free cash. Like, have y'all not learned from this pandemic, the UE as well as PPP loans? Like, you give away all this free money, you got to pay for that at the end, right? So it's like, it sounds great and everything, but again, that's going to also be a rise of inflation. So, definitely with that, it's just not smart. And then on top of that, he's also putting in 3 months of free public transportation. That's to help people, incite them to leave their cars in the garage. And the same exact thing, like you have free transportation for 3 months, people are gonna start using that more, right? Now you have like all these things that's not being paid for, but a lot of things that the public would be paying for when it comes to their transit, it's going like, where are we getting that money? That money gotta come from somewhere. Same like the MTA. The MTA, what they did, Matt, what's up, bro? The MTA, what they did is they actually suspended, this is during COVID, they didn't suspend, but they gave free MTA transit, statewide. Yeah, statewide. Well, not statewide, citywide. They did that for a few months. And even that, it's like, if people aren't paying, right, where's that money coming from now? So it's like, there's benefits and, pros and cons of each situation. But especially what's going on right now, you have a lot of people are moving out of California. For you to do that, $400, a debit card going towards, gas, that right there is terrible. It's just not a good idea. But we just continue doing these things. Like what the government does, the government makes all these issues for the American people, right? And then what they'll do is they'll sell you things to do and make it seem as if it's going to be beneficial, right? It's like literally what they do is they'll chop your arm off and be like, man, I'm going to tax you if you don't have 2 arms. You got to buy an arm now. So you're like, all right, I got to buy an arm. It's like, it's ridiculous, but they do it all the time. And it's like, it's called We the People. Like, I think that people forget that it's called We the People. It's not called We the Government. Like, we don't have to, we actually have more power than them. But what they do is, the media, right? Because, they influence the media, right? They have all these things coming to play, these words and stuff. So, what they'll do is they'll make it seem as if it's like, not make it seem, what they'll do is they'll paint a certain picture, right? And people are listening to that. And they forget that we actually have the most power, right? And then the people who are actually speaking up, they quiet them and silence them. And the ones who make it, who are going with their agenda, they'll give them the platform, the way to shine. So, I mean, it's one-on-one what they've been doing. Speaking of that, it's actually interesting because this past weekend, Elon Musk, he came out and said that he's looking to start his own social media platform. And I believe he said he's utilizing that towards like free speech. So that would be dope if he actually go about doing it. I think a lot of people would join Mainly because Elon Musk, he's like one of the most influential people in the world right now. Speaking of influential people and speaking of Elon Musk, I can also speak about Tesla. So, man, I've been on a run recently. But Tesla, another big thing that happened as well. So Tesla's actually applying for another stock split. So their last stock split was August 30th, 2020? 30th? 29th. 30th. 30th. I believe it was the 30th. I believe it was the 30th. Or the 29th. The end of August. Let's do that. The end of August. August 2020 was their last stock split. It was a 5-to-1 stock split, which was great. But again, what they're doing, the SEC even said it, right? So they're applying for a stock split, and we won't get the answer until sometime in fall. So a lot of people feel as if like, oh, the stock split, we're going to jump in right now. No, it's the same thing with Google as well as Amazon. I believe Amazon's stock split is going to be in sometime in May, and Google's will be in July, or it's inverse. I'm not completely sure right now. I believe it. Yeah, but no, that's actually what it is. If it's not that, then those days are just inverse. But back to this though, we won't have an answer until later on this year. But even so, I mean, they did a 5-to-1 stock split, and the stock doubled since then. So another stock split is going to be crazy beneficial. And the reason why they're doing this, again, the SEC said they applied for this mainly because they're going to do a stock dividend, right? So the difference from this and stock dividend and regular dividend is like they're not giving cash as a way of holding it, right? They're going to give you extra shares of a stock for holding it. So again, I do think that Tesla is a great long-term buy. Again, it's not financial education or advice. I'm just giving you guys I'm giving you entertainment through my thoughts. You can take it as you want. But yeah, so yeah, especially right now too, Tesla's booming. So, you do another stock split, it's going to be extremely more beneficial. And again, for you to give more shares as a dividend, that's amazing, right? So it's like, why would you not want to take advantage of that? And again, as I said, it's more of a long-term picture when it comes to holding that. Added to that as well, I can continue speaking about oil, right? So even right now, so the price of oil, and again, I see the time, and I'm going to start going into cryptos because the cryptos are booming, and we were right. We've been right about it. I'm going to pat myself on the back on that for weeks. Been calling out these markets, and we've been right. But so as of right now, the price of oil is currently 106.05 per barrel, right? That is the current price of oil as me speaking about this. We are still in an uptrend, right? So even if I go to the monthly time frame, because the month is coming to an end. However, we did come to a nice zone, but again, we're still up, right? And that's what it boils down to. But if oil gets above, and this could be tomorrow as well. So if we get around 110 per barrel, that right there is going to be amazing, right? We're going to continue going up. But, we did have a nice decline of oil. And the reason why we had that was because of China. So we have new lockdowns in China that is coming to be implemented. And that right there alone is not good for oil. The reason why, because again, when you have lockdowns, that means less demand. So if there's less demand, obviously it's less people utilizing it, right? So China alone, believe they utilize 10 million barrels per day, right? So 10 million barrels per day, lockdown, that's off, right? So they're not really utilizing that. So it just shows the reason why oil, they did take a hit, because China, if I'm not mistaken, is the #1 importer of oil worldwide. So the #1 importer, if you got another lockdown, that is the reason why we do have a nice decline. Added to that, if you guys are unaware, back in 2020, we had these lockdowns, oil did go to zero. Actually, oil went to negative. And think about that, guys. Literally 2 years ago, oil was negative. It is currently $106 per barrel. So that right there alone shows you, the things that can happen, in these markets. Like literally 2 years ago, negative. And it went to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. It even went to 130, right? What was it, last week or week? So how many weeks ago? What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 weeks ago. A month ago, we were at literally $130 per barrel for oil. Let me see what you guys said. Knowledge that you gained from this is crazy. How you know all this, bro? I feel like I need to ask you for a job. Well, we are not hiring at the moment. Maybe before the year is over, but as of right now, we're not. But yeah, guys, join my Discord. If you guys, all this information, I do appreciate that as well. But literally, join my Discord. On top of that, if you do want more investing one-on-one, literally a whole breakdown, I have my investing course. The link is also in my Discord, or if you're not in my Discord, if you're on YouTube watching this, the link is in the description below. Go to all my services, and my investing course is beneficial. Speaking of investing course, I didn't even really get in depth with investing yet, so still got a lot to talk about with oil. But yeah, what did I mention? Oh yeah, I mentioned China and that situation. So even with that, so as we do have these lockdowns, that is a reason for the decline. From a technical standpoint, we had hit a resistance, so we right now retesting. We retested 94 already. If we do stay above 94, you know, that if we stay above 100, that's also great. But if we literally stay above 110 per barrel, right, you can 100% guarantee that, you know, especially before the summer even happens, oil is going to continue going up. So we already retested 130 per barrel. It'll keep going up. So I just recommend, especially, you know what? I'll speak on it now. The elephant in the room, the recession. So I've been, I shouldn't be smiling. Like, that's not a good thing, right? I should not be smiling about having us being in a recession. But, you know, I've been speaking about this, you know, literally for over a month now. Especially, you know, I mean, I've been consistently doing this live for around a month now. But before this, I've been saying it in my stories. Like, we're in a recession. I've been saying about that. I mean, it's evident, right? We got too much data that's showing that we're in a recession. However, the actual definition of a recession means 2 consecutive months, 2 consecutive quarters of a decline. And as of right now, we don't technically have that because it's still the first quarter. So we don't have the second quarter yet, right? But the reason why I'm saying this is because we just got word that the 5-year and the 30-year inverted yield curves have inverted. Well, the 5-year and the 30-year the 5-year and the 30-year treasury yields have inverted. So that right there, historically, when that happens, we do have a recession coming. It's pretty much like a winning record. The last one we had was in, I believe it was August of 2020 as well, or August of 19, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember I think it was August of 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I think we had the 5-year and the 10-year. And even with that, I remember it was definitely, I was in New York. I did a video about this on YouTube, you know, and 5 reasons why we headed towards a recession. So if you guys on YouTube, you know, I'll probably pin it somewhere. What are we, 37 minutes in? I'll pin it somewhere over here if you guys checking it out. But yeah, I definitely made a video, 5 reasons why we headed towards a recession, and it happened. You know, a lot of people saying, oh, COVID caused a recession. That's not true. And I mean, conspiracy or not, the reason why we had this whole recession, this whole COVID, it was a big deal, was to get Trump out of office, right? Because, and I was saying it as well, right? I've been calling it. I said Trump's not going to win, and the reason why I thought that is because we are heading in a recession. So if we heading towards a recession, and a guy who's in office keeps saying that we're making America great, our economy is booming, then why would I want to re-vote for him? I mean, why do I want to vote for him? It just doesn't make sense. So that was the main reason why I thought Trump wasn't going to win. And in reality, I thought Elizabeth Warren was going to win. So if it wasn't in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it had to be. Yeah, and I believe around like October, I think Warren was killing. She was killing. I'm like, yeah, she was saying it too. She was being honest. She was saying that our economy is not good. You know, she was pretty much like all the things that Trump was saying that's beneficial for our economy. She was like, listen, that's not true. This not true. That's not true. She was just going in. So, and she was ultimately good in the polls that time. And I was saying to myself, yo, she's probably going to win. Obviously, you know, Biden won. I don't know how. It's crazy. Well, I do know how. He cheated. But, I mean, I'm not going to get into that either. That's a whole nother conversation. But even that, it's very, not going to get to that. I'm not going to get to it. I'm not. Yeah, so, yeah, as I was saying, though, so the yield curves have inverted. So that right there is not beneficial. Historically, we do have recession coming into play. The last time the 5-year and the 30-year inverted, it was in 2006. And you guys already know what happened after that, right? We had the Great Recession. And, you know, some people will even debate that we never got out of that recession, right? And I can definitely, you know, I can see why they believe that. If you look at the numbers, technically, you know, we kind of did not get out of it. If you look at inflation, if you look at the way things were, inflation literally is the same as it was in 2008. You know, we are in more debt across the board. We are in more debt as a government. So did we actually get out of it? That is a great debate. And I'm one of those people who debated that we never got out of it. So I enjoy if you guys are open for that debate. I can do it. I'm good with that one. But besides that, dude, one thing I've come to a conclusion that a lot of people should not be debating with you, right? Or for me and myself. So the thing about it is that some people, what they do is they'll get knowledge online and feel that they know what they're talking about, and it's just a blind leading the blind, right? So like, unless I have a lot of followers, a lot of likes, a lot of attention, a lot of shares in my posts, I can say something as if like I can say that I can't believe people think that we're in a recession. We will never enter recession again, right? And if I'm getting a lot of attention, if I share that, well, if a lot of people share, a lot of likes and everything, people are going to be like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, we're never going to get in a recession again, right? It's the blind leading the blind. So that's what goes on. So a lot of people have been doing that. So yeah, that's just what it boils down to. One thing that I actually want to note, and I'm actually gonna now go into crypto as well, but even with crypto, guys, you guys can go back on my last live and what I was talking about. Even on crypto, like crypto markets are booming. But besides the fact that they're booming, yeah, shout out to 19 Keys. So I was listening to Market Mondays, and he actually said this. So I didn't even know this. He said that Sweden said they're going to get rid of all physical cash by 2030. And also, I didn't know that. And I also didn't know that Sweden was actually the first to have physical cash backed by the bank. So I thought that was great to know. Yeah, shout out to 19 Keys, on that. He was on Market Mondays, gave that information. The dude's dope. But yeah, by 2030, that right there alone is a game changer, right? So you got to think more towards the future, not for the present, right? So even right now, as I said to you guys in the beginning of this call, if you did not do good this first quarter, right? I'm not saying it's great, but you still have the ability to surpass and get yourself going, to have a great second, third, and fourth quarter, especially to end the year off, right? As I said, it's a lot of cases basketball-wise, let's do sports, right? You could be losing the first quarter. Hell, you could be losing the first half, right? That that second half, third quarter, you come out, you kill it. Hitting up shots, playing crazy defense, all the, crazy offense, you can be killing. That fourth quarter, same exact thing. You got your foot in the gas, you're not letting up, right? That right there can happen, which you can end the year off great. So don't ever make it seem as if, your first quarter, if it doesn't go good, or even your second quarter, if it doesn't go good, that, you're done for the year. So I just want to throw that out there, guys. So a lot of people are giving up so far, and it's like, nah, man, you built for this, right? So, just, reanalyze what's going on, come up with a game plan. How can I adjust, right? What's working, what's not working? What got to be adjusted for me to move forward, because it's not over, right? You definitely got it in you. You just got to apply it. And, there's never a success story without bad things going on within that story, right? So even your favorite successful story, that's your favorite success story because they came from the worst, right? People came from the hood, came from the trenches, the real trenches. Not this trenches that's on social media. That everybody from the trenches now, get the fuck out of here, man. That's just another thing too. People just say whatever they want for social media just because it sounds cool. They're like, I'm from the trenches. Like, fam, you are from the suburbs. Like, you are not from the trenches. Like, but again, it sounds dope and people buy into it and people just, they just run with it. But yeah, that's what I was saying though. Again, no matter where you come from, that is your story. But a success story is not becoming a success story if you give up. So if you continue moving forward, you can make things happen. You just gotta stay consistent. But man, that's what I was saying in reference to cryptos, right? So you have DAIs, you have APYs, all these things are booming. NFTs are booming as well. So I do highly recommend, if you guys, are unfamiliar, again, as I just said, I have my investing course. You can click the link in the description below. If you want to learn more about, investing into the financial markets, whether it's the stock market, whether it's the crypto market, which is already booming right now. But you got to learn these things, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like we're living in the times where we are literally building the future, right? Web 3.0, we have that going into it. We literally have cryptos. As I just said, Sweden, they're going to get rid of all their physical cash by 2030. That right there is a big thing that's going on. 2030, guys, what is this, 2022? That's a few years away, right? So the fact that they're doing that, right, and you see the benefit of crypto, you want to move yourself forward into it, right? Even myself, I was against the whole ape coin, and even right now, I still have not owned it. I'm more likely probably own it before. Gang, what's up, bro? Before the week is over. But even that, people have been making, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars off of these NFTs. So like for you to say to yourself that you're not going to learn it and you're not going to figure out how to apply that, right? You're doing yourself a disservice. Let alone you're doing your future a disservice. Let alone you're doing your whole generation that's coming after you a disservice. Let alone you're doing your last name a disservice. Let alone, like, I can keep going. It's just a disservice that you're doing yourself by not learning, the way that money is flowing towards, right? Like, the thing that's going on is becoming outdated. Y'all got to get in tune. Y'all got to tap into it. Y'all got to know exactly, all right, so, and the thing about it, which, like, social media, not even social media, but besides that, though, he said, facts, I'm studying NFTs. That's great. That's great, man. You got to stay on top of that. But back to what I was saying, yeah, the thing about it is that social media, technology, it leveled the playing field, right? Any and everyone can learn. It doesn't matter your age. Any and everyone can learn a skill set. Any and everyone can learn something new, right? So like the old saying goes, you're never too old to teach. You're never too old to teach an old dog new tricks. I probably said it wrong. It sounds like it's right. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But even with that as well, I think I said it right. But even with that, like for you to not spend time to learn this thing, like you're doing yourself a disservice. Because soon enough, things are going to be flowing towards this, right? As you see, like Bitcoin, we're currently sitting around like 47,000 per coin. As I said, my few weeks ago, even last week, those in the Discord, you guys been killing it. Shout out to y'all. One of my students made 13 grand trading Bitcoin. Shout out to him. But even with that, right? So it's like on a higher time frame, we've been sitting in that support, right? We did have a head and shoulder that was forming. We obviously broke past that. We are above 47,000 per coin. Right, that right there is beast, and a huge reason why Bitcoin has been rising because Goldman Sachs, they have come into play, and so they're going about making a Bitcoin tradable, right? So they're throwing it out there. So even with that, like Goldman Sachs to do that, so for you again, as I'm saying this over and over, for y'all to not be into these cryptos, like y'all wilding, y'all really wilding. Like you got coins that are literally under $1 that has great usage. Right, but the thing that boils down to it, you can't just invest into any coin, right? Because there's a lot of shit coins out here, a lot of coins, just like stocks, right? A lot of stocks that are just bullshit, right? A lot of crypto that's bullshit, right? But you don't want to invest into anything. You got to get educated to figure out, okay, what's the best investment for me, right? Because also, like right now, Ethereum is booming as well. Ethereum current price, as of right now is what? 3,300 per coin. What is that? Exact number is 3,398. So we're sitting right below $3,400 per coin. But even that, like that may not be a best investment for you. I mean, I think you should invest in it, but that might not be a best investment for you. But again, you can invest in other stuff. Invest in Solana. You can invest into LSS. You can invest into VET. You can invest into which is on cybersecurity. I'm throwing things out there for y'all. You can invest into Mana. You can invest into Manic. All these things that's gonna help push the world moving forward. With, the way with NFTs, the way especially with Web 3.0. It's like, why not do that, right? Why not invest into where money is going to be going towards the future? It just makes sense. If money is being thrown this direction, what are you going to do? You going to follow the money or you going to not follow the money? Just think about that, right? You could if billions and trillions of dollars being thrown this direction, why would you go that way? Why would you do that, right? And then you know what's going to happen? You go this way, you're going to have years go by, and you're going to say, I should have invested. That's what you're going to say. I should have invested. I should have invested in this. He did say that in 2021, 2022. He been said I should invest into this. I didn't do that, right? So it's like he been said I should have been holding this. I didn't do that. Right now, your kids, what you gonna do? You're gonna tell your kids that, man, your kids gonna be like, hey dad or hey mom, how come you didn't invest into such and such when you were younger? What are you gonna say? I went to party, like I was too busy partying, or I was too busy partying, clubbing. I was too busy buying all this luxury stuff that I couldn't do that. Just think about that, guys. Like, at the end of the day, you want to invest for the long term. You want to invest to get yourself out of your predicament, out of your situation, right? You don't want to invest into look nice because, like, that don't do nothing. I mean, you can resell it, right? But what does it really do, though? Just think about that. Like, you just got to change your thought and your mindset. So, and that's what I'm here for, here for that. And just show you guys, like, at the end of the day, wealth is a mindset, right? So for you, and that's the reason why, people can be like, people who are actually wealthy, they sometimes they go broke and then they make it right again. You're like, damn, how did he or she do that, right? Or like the old saying Jim Rohn said, he said, like, you can distribute the money evenly amongst everyone in the world, and sooner or later it's going to go back into the hand of the wealthy individuals. And the reason why, because of mindset, right? And that's the reason why you see the PPP loans. it was given out to all these people. However, what they did, they just took that money and threw it towards towards nothing, right? And there's a reason why, a lot of things is going on now. So even with that, and if you are ones who did that, just learn from it, right? So it's like, all right, you fuck up that bag. Okay, what can change to move forward so I don't fuck up the next bag, right? So it's like little stuff. I had the, when you put chapstick on and, you talk a lot, lack of water, you get that little stain. I had to make sure. I thought I had that for a second. But yeah, so like even with that, like you guys got to pay attention and study to where wealth is going towards. And again, if you do need help, I do have my investing course. You can click the link in my bio or link in the description below. Show you step by step how to go about it. I have periodic emails in which, I'll let you know what I'm looking at, ideas for you to look at as well. Or you can also go, or you can check out my Discord, also link in the description below. Even with that, I give my whole crypto portfolio, my breakdown of that, daily markup, showing you what I'm looking at, the markets, how to break things down. You have an accountability group, you have 2 weekly group calls. It's so much. It's way too much. The value of the Discord is ridiculous. Seriously, it really is though. And it's ongoing. So, and that's the benefit. What's up? What's going on? And that's the benefit of the Discord, right? Like, because at the end of the day, you want to learn from others who are either more knowledgeable than you are, or even those who may not be knowledgeable than you are. You still want to learn, right? And the thing about it is that, like, a lot of people, they just limit themselves because they feel as if, like, they're too big to learn. And that's just not the case, right? You're limiting yourself by thinking that and having that mindset. You can always learn something from somebody else, right? Perfect example, I learned today, from one of the members, with New York Times. I can, you know what? I'm not going to give that tip. Join the Discord if you want that tip. But crazy tip about New York Times for the month subscription that I got. It's crazy. But even like something like that, it's like I've learned that from being in the Discord myself. So this is my Discord, but I'm learning myself. And that's the thing. Like, you can always learn from other people, right? You don't want to ever limit the people you learn from as well as, as who you learn from. But another thing on top of that, what you don't want to do is this, right? You don't want to make it as if you are cult-like following, right? Where you only learn from like 1 or 2 individuals, because that becomes cult-like following. Because at the end of the day, not everyone knows everything. So if you feel as if you only going to learn from one person, you're limiting yourself, because now it becomes a cult-like, right? So if this person says this thing, you're going to like, oh yeah, I got to agree with them. It's like, no. Like me, I follow and I also learn from people who I don't agree with. Because at the end of the day, you want to have a different mindset. Like, why is he or she thinking like this, right? Like, what can you learn from that? And something, a lot of things I don't agree with, I'm like, look at this, right? But I still like, okay, I just want to see their perspective. And majority of the times, I laugh at their perspective, but I still learn something like, okay, I see why they're thinking that way. But yeah, guys, it's going on 53 minutes right now. I'm always saying that this live is not going to be longer than 30 minutes, and we go longer than 30 minutes. Man, but I wanted to definitely keep it under an hour. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. Another reason why I don't want it to be that long, because the longer I have the call, the longer it takes to get uploaded. So I try to have this uploaded on YouTube by 8:15. Ace, what's up, fam? Oh my, I gotta link up with you after. I haven't spoken to you in some years now. I think about it. But yeah, guys. So just wrapping it up. If you got any Q&A, we can do that real quick. Matt, wow, I didn't even stop being rambling for 53 minutes. But for you guys who are just joining, your Q&A section. But if you're just joining, this video will be on YouTube by 8:30. Let's do that by 8:30 the latest. So if you want to check this whole thing out, a lot of gems was dropped as always. So far 53 minutes worth of game, a lot of free education, Like, y'all gotta think about that. I'm giving y'all so much free game. I'm giving y'all more game than y'all paying for people's courses. So just imagine how much info is in these courses. Imagine how much info is going into my Discord. Just imagine that. Like, think about that. People paying crazy bread for literally what I just gave y'all for free. Crazy. You gotta vet who you're learning from as well, who you're investing in. Like, marketing is great, but it doesn't mean that's someone you should be learning from. But yeah, any Q&A? Let's see what you guys are writing so far. Let's see what we got. Studying NFTs is great. I love it, man. I love it. Knowledge that you gained from this. Yeah, love it. Appreciate that. Let's see what else we got. That's funny. Yeah, dropping gems, man. That's what we hear. That's what we do. That's what we do. Great content. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I need to schedule some time with you for sure. Let's do it. 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 We can well, you can link in my bio schedule or call me. We can talk after as well. For you to get that going. It's not a problem. I'm here. Any other questions that you guys got? I want to do maybe a minute or two. We at 55 right now. I'm not trying to upload a whole audiobook. I'm not trying to do that. I wanted to keep it at 30 minutes, but I mean, so much things happen. A lot more stuff happened that I didn't even get to speak on. That's how much we just tapped into everything. But again, I did not want this to be crazy long. But yeah, what you guys got? Any questions? If you don't got another question, then I'm gonna log off. I know it's a little delayed, so I'm gonna give it like a quick second to see what you got. All right, appreciate everyone spending their time with me, regardless if you were here for the entire time or you just stopped in for a little bit, and got out. Appreciate that. You didn't have to do that, but you did. And again, this will be on YouTube by 8:30. As soon as I get off this, I'm going to upload it, and let's see how long it takes. But again, guys, appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you have a consistent week at that. Consistent, profitable week at that. And for my traders, it's NFP on Friday, so be wary of that. More likely it's going to be bullish. That is another tip for you guys, especially with last week's unemployment coming out 50-year low. So yeah, that's a huge tip right there as well. So, be likely on the lookout of a little decline on gold, continuation on XRP, which I didn't even speak on XRP. Man, I didn't speak on XRP. Should have spoken that. XRP, buy that.